If you're considering the Momcozy V1 Pro, then stick around, as in this video I am going to walk you through its features, pros, and a few things that I think you might want to consider before making your purchase. So to get started, I was gifted this Momcozy V1 via Momcozy. However, all opinions in this video are my own. Okay, so let's get started. As you can see, it is a handheld motor that is attached to your collection cups via tubing. Now, it is hands-free. It's not a wearable in terms of a single pump and collection cup unit. So it isn't quite as discreet as what you will find the wearable breast pumps, because you do have the tubing and the pump motor separate. However, that said, it is a relatively small pump motor. It can be easily attached to your wrist or around your neck via this adjustable lanyard. The benefit of having this design opposed to the all-in-one unit is that your collection cups are extremely lightweight. These are only 130 grams. They have a much larger capacity. You can see this goes over the 7 ounce with a max of 230 millimeters. So they do hold quite a lot more milk than the average 5 or 6 ounces with your wearable breast pumps. I also really love this new design of the collection cups. I love that this is really streamlined. It's a teardrop shape. They are really quite small, even though they've got a lot of capacity. They fit really discreetly inside your bra. So you do have the trade-off with the V1 Pro of having the separate pump motor, but your collection cup is really lightweight, a bigger capacity, and it's really great for those that don't like carrying the extra weight on their breasts, especially if you have back issues. So in terms of functionality, let's look at the suction. So this is a hospital grade suction strength with up to 300 millimeters of mercury. It is very powerful. It comes with 3 modes, so your stimulation, which is your short suctions to initiate your letdown. You have your expression, which are your deep suctions for drawing out your breast milk. And then you have a mixed mode, which is a combination of both the shorter and longer suctions. You have 15 suction levels with the V1 Pro, which I absolutely love. Being able to adjust the suction strength is fantastic for tailoring your comfort level to your needs. But the one thing that really stands out with the V1 Pro that is different to any of the other Momcozy pumps is this button here. Now, this button allows you to change your pumping frequency levels. So the how many suctions you get per minute. So you can set that on a low, a high. Now let me turn this up a little bit higher, see if you can hear it. And I'll change that to a low. And you can see that there's a difference in the pumping frequency levels, and that having that and being able to adjust it is, for me, just another really fantastic way to control your pumping session and really tailor this to your own needs. Everybody is different when it comes to what their body responds to. So for me, having more control over your experience is just a massive plus. Now, you can see that there's this great LED screen. The backlights will all turn off after a few seconds without use. To activate them, you just turn it on again. On here, you have your change between your modes, which we talked about previously. There's the 3 modes. You've got your plus and minus for adjusting those 15 suction Strength levels, again, your pumping frequency, you can see your battery. There's also a timer. Now, the awesome thing with this pump again, and something that they don't have on the other Momcozy pumps, is you actually have the ability to increase or decrease your timing. So if you want your pump to only run for 10 minutes, you can adjust that and have a 10-minute pumping session. If it goes down to 5 minutes, so you can choose between 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30 minutes with the timer. And your pump will automatically shut off once you have reached your timer. So I love that you can set this to your own needs. You don't have to stick on a 30-minute kind of pumping cycle and manually turn this on and off. There's also a really handy pause button. There's also a screen lock on this. So it has in the pump motor itself a lot of functionality too. So I really do love these improvements with the V1 Pro. In terms of noise, it is also really quiet. It's only 58 dB or decibels. So again, you'll hear it with a bit of background noise depending on, you'll hear it in complete silence depending on what settings you have it on. But generally with a bit of background noise, you won't be able to hear this pump going, which is a big plus. So let's look though at one of the other really important features, and that is the collection cups and flanges. So you can see here that you have the trademarked double fit flange. So that's this extra double seal. Now, I love these with the Momcozy pumps. It acts as a bit of a breast cushion, but also helps to create a really secure seal. And you need great seals with any pump to create that vacuum. So if you get any air leaks, it impacts the efficiency of your pump. So I love having this extra double seal flange. It comes in a standard 24 millimeter. You can see that there's actually very minimal parts to this. It's only those two parts. You take off the cap. Yeah, don't think that bit actually comes out. There is the diaphragm that does not actually come out. So that makes that even easier. So you only have minimal parts to wash. One thing I will say though, it has this cap for your pouring spout. Now, anytime there are these additional little bits and pieces that can easily break, I am a little bit wary. However, that I can see why they've installed it over the top to help reduce spillage. You may see a little bit of wear and tear on that if you are not careful, but again, they've actually made it quite thick, so I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. In terms of the flange, it is a hard silicone with the softer silicone outer. I do like this as it means that this just pushes nice and firmly into place. You don't have to worry about lifting up seals and trying to get them over the lip. It just pushes nice and firmly into place. And you have to make sure that pouring spout cap goes in. So I said it was a standard 24 millimeter. They do include your flange inserts, a 17, 19, and 21. So if you do need a smaller nipple size, they simply push in and you can continue to pump away. That reduces the size of your flange tunnel. They do also include your nipple measuring tool. So I love this as it means you can get started right from the start. I mentioned before, I think, that it is a single or a double pump. So this is the tubing and connectors for the double, but if you want to convert this to a single, it does have the separate connector and tubing. It simply, let me get the right, pushes into place. And that is now your single pump. So it comes with that, which again is really fantastic. You've got your flange lid. Overall, I think this is a really great pump. I love that they have included features such as the adjustable pumping frequency levels, the timer settings, and being able to adjust that is a huge plus for me. Couple of things to consider. The parts are not dishwasher safe, so to sterilize and clean these, you need to clean them in warm soapy water and then boil the parts for 5 minutes. They're also not recommended for microwave or UV sterilizers. So something to consider just on the cleaning side of things. That's pretty standard across the Momcozy pumps though. They're generally not dishwasher safe. And this does not connect to the Momcozy app. So if you're wanting something that is app integrated, you'll have to go with the Momcozy M9 or a different brand. But overall, I'm really loving the control that you have with the V1 Pro. I really think that this is definitely worth considering. I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.